Now, here's the hosts of Top Story, Kelly Klass and Jill Steen.
Good morning and welcome. This is Top Story. And welcome to Jill.
What?
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Kelly. Welcome to me, yes.
736-0300 is the number to call.
Welcome
Glad
to
you
our
could join us.
listeners, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're down to like 41 days now.
Oh, stop.
That's 41
What,
days.
to Christmas?
No, till December 31st.
Whoa, what's what? New Year's? You're so excited about New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve. That will be my
Is that the deal?
my last day, ladies and gentlemen.
Why, Kelly? Why?
I am going on relief.
You're going on relief.
I
think I need a relief. I need a relief. Please, I need to go on relief.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah,
So
and
anyway.
tomorrow night is
The party.
the party for Kelly.
Yeah.
He's retiring, and it's going to be at the Turf Club, 5 to 8.
As a personal favor for me.
Please come.
Please come. I would hate to give a party and nobody came, you know?
Oh, now you're giving the party. Yesterday you weren't giving the party.
No,
Now
I'm-
you're giving. Please,
I'm not
please.
giving the party. It is held for me.
In your honor.
Well, whatever.
We're going to retire your microphone.
By my employer, Town Square Media.
You know how you probably don't know this. They retire jerseys, the numbers, so no one can use them
Yeah.
again when you're a great athlete. Did you know that?
I knew that, yes.
Thank you. We're going to retire your microphone.
I see. Or I thought maybe it was the chair.
No. That chair could use retiring.
Yeah, I know.
I'll have you know I did announce it at Rotary yesterday.
Oh, really?
I did.
That was nice of you.
It was. I said, please.
Did you get a standing ovation?
They all said, Kelly who?
Yeah, right.
Wished you were there.
Yeah. Thanks, Jill. I love you. And they probably did, too.
And they're like,
Who?
you do a radio show?
Yeah.
I'm like, ah. Anyway, so I thought I would,
right.
they all, of course, asked, who's taking his place? I'm like, you're your replacement.
We don't know yet.
I know.
We're working on Rush Limbaugh, but there's a little matter.
God help me.
The money is fine. He just, doesn't know if he can live here.
There's not, yeah. I'm sorry, we don't have a Dunkin' Donuts here. Like, we're so small.
That's
you know
right.
what?
We don't have a Dunkin' Donuts.
No, we
do
don't. I found that out about the first year because my best friend back in Boston, she loves Dunkin' Donuts and kind of originated back there. So I was going to buy her a gift card. I drove all the way around town, like, looking for Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, Tom, do we have a Dunkin' Donuts? He said no. So I couldn't send her.
You would have been looking for a long time.
I know she loves Dunkin' Donuts. I just wanted to send her a gift card, say hi.
Okay, well, there you go.
There you
we
go.
got plenty of other nice donut shops. So Doug Mon brings us in donuts every Friday morning, and he always brings in some really good ones.
But, it's probably hard for Bonnie to redeem the gift card when she lives in Boston, to buy her one from here.
From Jimmy John's?
The whole point.
Not Jimmy, Jim Bob's.
Jim Bob's, so she could then maybe use it in Boston. That was the point, Kelly. I know we have good donut places here.
Yes, we do. Hey, we do have coming up, we're going to be talking about the Rob Green Turkey Trot. Mm-hmm. We also have the cops with the bad guys list coming in. I believe today will be Sergeant Ken Menzel from the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department, if I am not mistaken. Or is it the city?
No, he came. Didn't he come last week?
Well, yeah, he comes, but he comes. What is this the third Thursday? No, it's not. No, so it'll be Ken. Yeah, next week will be the city PD, but it'll be thanks. Next week is Thursday's Thanksgiving, right?
Third is the city, Cal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that will be next Thursday, right? Well, we'll have to figure
we're
this
on
out
the
later.
third. We're on the third one. Yeah. What are you?
Oh. Okay.
What are you saying?
I don't. Well, I was mixed up. I'm sorry. So today then should be the city of Twin Falls.
Yes,
I don't know if they know it or not.
That's what I'm saying, the city, and you're like, no.
Usually I get an email, but I didn't get an email.
We had Ken on last week.
I know, but he's on a couple of weeks
second,
in
fourth,
a row.
and fifth.
Yeah, see?
Second, fourth, and fifth. We're on the third.
Okay, whatever.
When is retirement?
Yeah. And then at 9 o'clock we have Sharon Brashears from the Valley House.
Yeah.
And she is an excellent photographer. We might even talk about photography, too.
She came to Rotary yesterday, did a presentation. Her stuff's beautiful. She has a calendar she's selling. I bought
one. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she posts a lot of her pictures on Facebook. And
beautiful.
It's just, oh, yeah, really. Well, anyway, that'll be coming up at 9 o'clock. We got a call, so let's take it. Top story, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jill.
Well, good morning.
How are you?
Hey, Kelly, I really liked your Facebook commercial deal for your retirement. But I think that shawl sitting on a rocking chair was just a little bit over the top.
Well, you know Kelly.
Why? Why was it over the top?
Well, the pipe, the dog in the arm, the book, all of that was excellent. But a rocking chair and a shawl.
And that was Mabel.
Hey, that's what we do. We do stuff over the top, buddy. Over the top.
And Mabel's quite upset because she needs SAG wages.
Yeah.
So she isn't being
I'll see
compensated.
you tomorrow where I can harass you more.
All right, sounds
Please
good,
come,
Kyle. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, for those who have seen the ad running on, I think, KMVT and a couple of others, my little dog, Mabel, that was Mabel.
Mabel.
She's upset because she wanted top billing.
Yeah, and
So
I'm sorry,
she's
she's
upset
not
with me
getting
now.
Did you give her extra bones or something? Some compensation?
Oh, believe me, she gets plump.
Her agent has been calling every day. You have no idea how upset she is.
I do have an idea how upset she is.
Oh.
All right, so we do have some news this morning. As Gooding School employees push for Superintendent Mary Larson to resign. This is from the Times News. Records show that she received unsatisfactory marks in her last job. You'll know that if you've been listening to the show that there is some turmoil in the Gooding School District.
Just a titch.
90% of the employees voted earlier this week as a no confidence in Superintendent Mary Larson.
Yeah.
So that issue continues. She turned in a resignation letter last March as superintendent of the Strasburg Public Schools in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
So then she came to Gooding. Her last day there was June 30th. She started to work in Gooding on July 1st, and apparently things have not gone well.
I love this part. The Gooding School District paid up to $5,000 to consultants who, how do you say it?
I would say Badia.
Badia, a retired Emmett School District Superintendent, to advertise the position.
You know, we're in the wrong business.
$5,000 to put an ad online. Where was it, on Craigslist?
Where's Craigslist? I'll do it for $4,500.
Yeah,
I'll put an ad on Craigslist.
Yeah, but Sue said that she didn't interview him. She got $5,000 just to do an ad. They didn't. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you knew the superintendent had problems, which clearly they must have, why would you then?
Hire them? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know the background on this deal. I do know this, though.
Because we only get 10% of the information.
I am in the wrong business.
Yeah.
On my last day on December 31st, I'm going to become a consultant, and I'm going to start charging outrageous prices for a little bit of information.
For ridiculous things.
Yeah, there you go.
We need a consultant for this, a conconsultant for that. $5,000 to place an ad. She didn't even interview him. It wasn't like she was a recruiter.
Yeah, I don't know if she got all the. I don't know. Probably in some of the professional places where they put these ads, they probably charge some. I don't know, but
whatever. But
smokes.
You know what? If she had bad recommendations, bad whatever, why would you hire her? Unsatisfactory marks? Would that be? I mean, there's so many people out there. So many. Why would you?
I don't know.
And now you need a facilitator, $5,000 to $6,000 to facilitate to make this situation work.
There are so many things in this world today that I do not understand, Jill.
I just don't think this one's going to work out. 90% of your employees are unhappy, and you're going to have a $5,000 to $6,000 facilitator saying, no, we can make this work. Like, let's put a square hole in a round peg. Like, I don't get it. Cut your losses. Fire them. Maybe pay them out their full contract like CSI did.
That's probably what they would have to do.
Would they have to if you have unsatisfactory? Are there no causes for termination?
I don't know, and we can't
contracts?
Find that out because it's a secret.
We never get information.
It's a secret.
Anyway, my thoughts and prayers go to Gooding. Like, what is going on there?
On both sides, I mean, I don't know what the deal was.
Well, I you know what? I'm sorry, but it doesn't sound like the complaints are pretty bad.
Well, I do know this. The state is asking a judge to take another look at his decision to void the $60 million Idaho Education Network broadband contract. In a 12-page motion filed Tuesday, the state's outside counsel is asking District Judge Patrick Owen to either clarify his November 10 ruling or toss out the contract. To toss out the contract or reconsider his decision.
Let's just spend more taxpayer dollars. You know what?
Judge, can you just
Can you
Can
change
you
your
change
mind?
Yeah, can you change your mind?
We should have asked
the decision
Grant
you
on
came
that
out
one.
with doesn't work for us.
Yeah, because, we changed our mind and just changed the contract, and there you go. Why would you waste more money? Why? We have spent a fortune on
Well, it's
this.
an attempt to make you look like you are justified in what you did. That's what it is.
Well, of course. I mean, is anyone... You know what? Today the head could explode.
Owen said the contract was void when the state cut out one contractor on the high school broadband project, Syringa Networks, and because that voided the contract, he said the state cannot salvage the deal.
Well, it wasn't a fair process to begin with, so how do you salvage it?
The ruling has critical implications. The state's attorney contends this leaves the state without a contract on which to order and run critical wide area network services for state agencies, or under which to operate and fund the education network. Well, bad decisions and situations like this have bad consequences. And in this case, it looks like it could be the kids in the schools in Idaho who will be suffering the consequences.
Can't take the classes they need to graduate. Then what?
I have not heard, and maybe it's out there and well known and I just don't know it, as to why Syringa was dropped from the contract after it was already a done deal.
Well, I think they kind of alluded to that in the one editorial comment the other day. It was someone's buddy, some well-connected someone who's having his buddy do the contract.
See, if that's the case,
well, that's sort
then
of what
someone needs to lose their job.
I think that's what Judy said the other day.
Someone needs to lose their job if that is the case.
Well, it should have been the governor, but guess what? We reelected him.
The motion is just the latest legal maneuver in the 5-year-old legal battle over the Idaho Education Network contract. A system now provides broadband for all the high schools in the state, 219. So, some of those kids who are on the verge of graduation by taking online courses.
That's the only way they can get them.
Here's we got a call. Somebody knows
good.
about this. Top
Hopefully.
story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. As a public policy measure, I think the court should allow the broadband contract to stay until these people graduate, because as a public policy measure, that would cause the least amount of disruption.
I don't think the courts are going
to.
They just said that the contract was void, though. I mean, somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't think the court said that it couldn't go on. That's up to the state to figure out how to make it go on.
We're
believe.
paying for it.
Well, if they say the contract was void, then they're saying that they can't pay for it anymore because the contract was void.
Well,
correct?
And the feds were paying for it, and then they stopped paying for it because of the.
The state has been paying for it ever since
right.
It was found. Ever since the bottom fell out of this thing, to the tune of about $11 million a year.
Yeah.
And it looks like, and it ends in February.
That doesn't
so
include.
So we're going to have to do it again.
Doesn't include attorney's fees, etc., etc.
We'll be right back here on Top Story. 7360300 is the number to call.
True.
7360300 is the number to call. Welcome back here on Top Story. And we were talking, we always talk about Farmore of Idaho, and I know that nobody's irrigating right now because, well, it just wouldn't work out.
No.
And for a number of reasons.
For so many reasons.
But we will be soon. It'll be here sooner than you know it. And coming up here in the spring, you're going to want to know what your crops are doing, how they're doing, and the best way to do that is with an overflight with infrared Baron, which is they fly over your fields and take photography with infrared photography, which shows up a lot of stuff that you don't see with a naked eye or even regular photography. And they do that at Farmore of Idaho. You can tell if it's too wet or too dry and that some changes need to be made. There needs to be some maintenance done on your irrigation system. They can do all that for you at Farmore of Idaho. Their number is 324-3341, and you can find them online at farmoreofidaho.com. We have with us this morning Shauna Obenchain, who's the owner of The Anchor in Twin Falls, and Cecilia Gracida, who is the marketing executive for Rob Green. And we have, it's not the running of the bulls now, it's the running of the turkeys. Second annual.
Turkeys can run?
Yeah.
Well, you run with your turkey for sure.
That's what my wife always says. Yeah, I'm going to go
Not
running
sure if
with
you're
the
carrying
turkey.
it or it's beside you.
That's right.
I know, exactly.
That's right. So, Shauna, tell us what this is all about.
Well, we started this last year, so this is our second annual little turkey run, fun run. We just kind of kick off the holidays. So come to the Anchor on Saturday, and first 100 people that sign up get a free T-shirt. This year we partnered and are happy to do so with Rob Green So the race will be to Rob Green, about 1.5 miles down Blue Lakes, and all you need to enter is a frozen turkey, and you carry your turkey.
You carry your turkey the whole way?
You carry your frozen turkey.
You're frozen. You better wear gloves.
Well, this year you might have to have gloves and hat and snow boots. But it makes it fun. I mean, people really got into it last year. It was a great time, and we have prizes for best dressed turkey, heaviest turkey, most turkeys.
So this is kind of an endurance race, really, when you
Well,
stop to
it
think
doesn't
about
sound to a racer or someone who runs that it's very far, but really when you carry a frozen turkey and it's 10 pounds, it's fun. And you don't have to run. It's a walk, stroll, carry it in your wagon, stroll it in the stroller, carry it in a backpack. We don't care how you get it there.
What time? What time does it start?
We leave the anchor around 11 o'clock. We'll all go up to Walgreens, cross the street, and then take off and
I know. I was going to say they're not closing down Blue Lakes.
No. We just kind of mosey down the sidewalk, and like I said, last year the runners were there and back before we got halfway down because you just get there however you want to. It's more for fun and to donate, turkeys. But this year, Rob Green joined us, and so they have fun things for us to do.
What do you got going, Cecilia?
Well, we would like to give back to our community. So what we've decided to do is we're matching turkeys. So for those individuals who participate.
Now it's matchmaking turkeys. You run with them.
That's
and
right.
We're going to
match the turkeys.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. So it all goes back to our local food bank.
So as many as they donate, you guys are going to.
Well, it's one per participant. So there are prizes for those who bring in the most turkeys, but yeah, we're doing one per participant. So
wow, that's exciting.
So is there a goal, a number that you're looking for, or just whatever you get?
Well, I think we've kind of discussed around 200.
Yeah,
We'd love
last
to
year
do 3, but
for first year, just getting it out there, we had 75 turkeys.
Really?
So of course our goal is to beat that.
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
double, really.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
So if you got 150, you'd be tickled.
We'd be tickled.
Yeah.
So who are you going to donate the turkeys to?
Oh, that's to our local food banks here. So,
okay.
Yep.
They are in big need.
They are, absolutely. And we want to be able to give back. We have such, we're blessed beyond measure. So
Yeah.
Well, that's
so
nice.
So you say folks, can they register online, or do they register at the
No,
anchor?
there's really no registration. It takes a frozen turkey to enter, and if you're there and one of the first 100, you get a free race T-shirt, and it's like, again, it's just more for fun, and we all just.
So there aren't many rules and regulations here. Just kind of show up with a turkey and have fun.
And try to get it to Rob Green.
That's right.
Get it to Rob Green. They're gonna provide shuttles back to the anchor, and then.
What? They're not running back without their turkeys?
You
Come on.
can if you want to.
Some of them walk back, run back, but if you don't want to and you want to ride, then there's a ride, and then we have after party fun, food, and
we're giving away
drink specials.
tickets. We're giving away BSU tickets for the 29th.
So.
Oh, that should be fun. What game is that?
That's the Utah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so that should be good.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
very
like
cool.
fun.
So second annual.
That's right.
Second annual.
All right. So
Shauna, why did you decide to think of this? How did you think of this?
I just came up with it last year and just thought it would be a fun event, and I was surprised that there were as many people there and dressed up and having fun. And for some of the racers, this was their third race that morning.
Wow.
Because,
Oh my goodness.
These are some turkey trotters.
Yep. And so it was a good way for them to end the day, and then they stayed.
Then they stayed at
most
the
of
anchor and had a good
day.
time.
Yeah.
Well, we're just
So
about
it's
out of time, so can they call one or both of you to get more information if they need it?
Sure,
I know it
absolutely.
sounds simple to me, but you never know.
Give out a number, Shauna.
Our number is 733-6566. We also have the details on our Facebook account.
All right,
So-
very good.
And ours is 733-1823.
very good.
1823. Okay, so
So-
Saturday.
Yeah, Shauna Obenchain and Cecilia Gracita, we appreciate you telling us about the Run with the Turkeys.
Thanks for
Thank
helping
you.
out
All
the
right,
community.
Sounds like fun. And we got the Cops with the Bad Guys list next here on Top Story. 736. Wow, got to turn some stuff down in here.
736-0300.
0300 is always the number to call here on Top Story. Welcome back. We have Sharon Brashears coming up at 9 o'clock to talk about the Valley House. We also have the fact that the president will be speaking tonight and justifying his position as emperor and changing U.S. law on the immigration bill. So that should be
just
interesting.
like
We'll be able to
Ronald
talk about
Reagan
that.
and George H.W., whatever.
They were actually clarifying the laws,
Oh,
is
were
what they were doing.
He's
yes.
clarifying
but
it too.
the emperor now decided that he can just change the law. So we'll be
Really?
talking about that coming up in a little
Sure,
bit.
Boehner has a lawsuit ready.
But meanwhile,
back at the ranch, if you didn't think the election season,
wait a minute.
what?
We don't have the cops this morning. They didn't show up. So just in case you were waiting for the cops with the bad guys
I
list.
know. I don't know what happened. Sometimes they get caught up. There might be something happening.
Yeah,
and
there might be
you know
something
what?
going on. That's right.
We are not top priority. Their stuff is top priority.
Yeah, we need to talk to him about that. But for right now,
that we
we're
need
not.
to change our priority.
That's right.
When you have something more pressing.
We need to be a little more up the ladder.
You just leave that crime scene and say, I'm sorry, I have a radio interview
That's
now.
right. There you go. See?
But just in case your head hasn't exploded yet by Republican Idaho elections, Republican Party, if you haven't been disgusted enough by this party, here you go.
Oh, listen to
Here's
that.
the cherry on the top for the state.
I'll tell you what I'm disgusted by.
Okay, well, you know what? It's hitting close to home this election season, and if you don't think it is, come on. Here's the cherry on the top. The Idaho Republican Party has named former U.S. Senator Larry Craig as its financial chair of its executive committee. Party officials said Wednesday that Craig fills in an empty volunteer fundraising position. And then again, whenever they mention Larry Craig, this is what follows. Craig was arrested in a 2007 airport bathroom sex sting. He was accused of soliciting sex in a men's bathroom at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport by an undercover officer. According to the officer, Craig tapped his foot under the stall and signaled that he wanted sex. Then they go on to say he retired in 2009, where he then faced legal battles with the Federal Elections Commission over his use of campaign funds. In September, a federal judge ordered him to pay nearly $242,000 to the U.S. Treasury for improperly using campaign funds to cover legal expenses involving his sex sting. So I'm sure the Idaho Republican Party must feel very comfortable having him as financial chair of its executive committee. I just have to say one thing. Is there no one else in Idaho that is qualified? I mean, could you not find anyone else for whenever this man is ever reported on anything in the paper, these two things will follow him forever? And do you really feel comfortable when he thinks it's okay for the taxpayers to pay his legal fees for some solicitation of sex in an airport, that he might have the best judgment for financial dealings for the state party? I'm just saying, I don't really care because I'm a Democrat, but does it not make you wonder, as Republicans out there, that there's no one else qualified? Is everyone else in jail that can't take the position? What is the deal?
Okay, I suppose being the other half of this
you
duo,
can't possibly defend
I
this
am
one.
the conservative side of this viewpoint here.
Don't even
I
try
would
to
be
defend
expected to justify and maybe even apologize for this choice. Let it be said and let it be known, I'm sorry, I cannot. I don't know. This
Thank
is
you.
going to be a public relations nightmare for the Idaho GOP. Not to say that he might not be totally qualified for that position, but it's the reputation that we are wrangling with here.
The two paragraphs will always follow his name.
That's true.
Forever.
You're absolutely right. And I think the Idaho Republican Party has been through some tough times here in the last year with the state convention. They wound up doing fine, though, in the elections, as everybody knows. So maybe they saw that as a signal that, well, things are settling down, so we can go ahead and do something else now that is a little bit weird. But I don't know. I don't understand this because it just seems to me like was there no one else that you could find for this position?
No one else?
For his reputation. I mean, this is going to be a PR nightmare. 7360300. It already is. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Talk about the pot calling a stainless steel kettle black again. Jill has her goal to bash the Republican Party with that thing that they have in the White House.
First of all,
Ridiculous.
we're talking about Idaho politics, and secondly, that thing is your president. But how do you feel about Larry Craig being? Oh, fine. We don't want to. We wouldn't want to discuss the issue. The issue is Idaho, the Idaho Republican Party.
I don't.
Come on.
I don't understand if they didn't get together and say, hey, what's this going to do? How is this going to look? I don't understand unless they think, well, hey, we're the party of second chances. I don't know. Let's give them another chance. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
The voters don't care. We can take money. We can embezzle money. We can transfer money. We can lose money. Don't you worry.
Don't get carried away
We
here.
will still elect
Senator Craig
you.
was not that bad of a senator during his terms. It's his reputation that follows him now that is the concern here. And we'll be right back to see what you think on Top Story. 7360300 is the number to call, and the phones are open. We would like to know what you think of Larry Craig being appointed as the financial chair of the Idaho GOP. Just to get an opinion. Just to get opinions. I'll tell you, the comments after the stories
hilarious
in the printed media were...
You know
they were
what?
kind of one-sided, but, it's interesting to see what people think.
It is funny. You know what? When I read comments like that, some of them, I think, these people are so clever. I mean, hilarious. Some of them are hilarious.
Well, the folks at Clearwater Power Equipment are clever, too, because they're saying, hey, we've got chainsaws, because if you underestimated how cold this winter was going to be and you didn't quite get enough firewood all cut up, that's not a problem. They got Husqvarna and Echo chainsaws. They also have, I saw it the other day, a hydraulic log splitter down there. So they got everything to take care of you, and all you got to do is stop by and see what they got. Check out the prices, make the purchase, and take it home. And if you have any problems with it, any issues, they are there to fix it, because that's what they do. They service and they sell this stuff, and that's all they do. They don't sell lumber. They don't sell kitchen appliances. They sell power equipment at Clearwater Power Equipment. And they want you to stop by, 252 Washington Street. You can call them at 734-7767 and tell them that Kelly and Jill sent you. All right, let the opinions
Let the phones begin.
fly. 7360300, Top Story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm a conservative independent who has to kind of vote more Republican. I kind of find that there's distaste in both Republican and Democrat. I don't like agreeing with Jill, but on this one, I'm going to side with her.
You would have to. Come on.
I said I'm going to side with you.
Thank
And
you.
what this stems from, I'm sure, is when Craig was in office, he scratched some high Idaho officials' backs. Now, Saber paid back. He's getting his back scratched back. And I've said for years, we take good people from society who have good intentions. We vote them into office, and for some reason, when they get into office, they take a stupid pill or something. I don't know what happens there. It seems like they totally changed. Whether politics does that to them or what, but no, I don't. There's tons of people more qualified than Craig for this.
Well, this wasn't an office. This stemmed from a personal thing he was doing in a bathroom in Minneapolis, and then tried to cover it up.
I realize that.
Yeah.
But how he probably got this was he scratched some people's backs when he was in office. Now he's getting his back scratched back.
I think that was part of the problem.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Let the one-liners
Bam.
Let the one-liners
Boom.
begin. Huh?
Wide
Okay.
stance.
Thank you very
everything
much
else.
for that
Thank
opinion.
You.
7360300, Top Story. You are on the air. What do you think?
Good morning. Well, Idaho politics just amazes me, and that's why I am a registered Republican, more of a Democrat at heart, and an independent by nature. I'm a registered Republican, so I can vote in the elections that actually count in this state, the primaries, because they're really the only ones that do.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Larry Craig's deal goes, it's, this is like insanity run amok to me. Perhaps if maybe they don't find a job for him there, perhaps the Gooding school district can use him as the superintendent. Because the people in this state, like the previous guy said, I don't know what happens, whether it's in the water or they're just stupid pills being passed around. It just amazes me.
I had to, thank you very much. I had to ask
you.
myself, when I heard about this, when I first heard about it, which was yesterday, I had to ask myself, I said, no, wait a minute, this has to be some kind of a joke? Is this April Fool's or something? I thought surely they wouldn't. And then I wondered. Now Stephen Yates is he's the new high guy for the GOP. He came from back east, remember?
He was worked with Cheney. Yeah. He's known these people, so he probably's dealt with Craig.
I don't know what has happened, but
I don't know why you would think this is okay.
This thought actually went through my mind. I thought, has he been sent as a subversive out here?
Oh, stop.
To ruin the Idaho GOP.
Oh, please.
No, it really did cross my mind.
Really?
Doing this. I thought, what? Does he not? Surely he knows Larry Craig, coming from his background in Washington, D.C. And again,
he hopped him once
Larry
before.
Craig was not a bad senator for the state of Idaho, but sometimes when you do things that are really bad and really stupid, I mean, that kind of, shoots you out of the saddle for any possible positions in the future.
Well, especially
and I thought that was probably one that happened to him, but apparently not.
Well, apparently, and wherever he goes, these paragraphs follow him. Plus, he didn't have the best judgment on what taxpayers should pay for or not.
And he is probably totally capable of doing whatever needs to be done in that position. However, the reputation is the issue here. 7360300, top story. You're on the air. What do you think?
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
The thing that bothers me, it doesn't matter what party it is, but what happened to morals and values and beliefs, that doesn't seem to follow them once they get in office. And, that's hard to explain to children that you're trying to raise it those type of things, to believe in and have morals and beliefs and values.
Doesn't it seem like to you, as it does me, that the worse you are, the more you are rewarded?
It does. And when you're trying to bring up grandkids or children and you're trying to reward them to do the right thing, and they see anywhere from office to football or basketball, these people doing these type of things, how do you explain it to kids?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I guess you say don't do what they do. But unfortunately, these people are their role models. And, with Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice and everything. Oh, now and Bill Cosby.
Yeah, man. Talk about a Shaw. I don't know, because he faced those acts, and I don't want to switch the deal over to him, but just as a kind of a rabbit trail here, he was accused of that originally some time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And, I just don't know. I don't know. I would like to think not. I would like to think that Bill Cosby was not guilty of doing something like that. I know there are a lot of gold diggers out there who would do anything.
At this point in their life, have you seen some of them? 13 women years later, because back in the day, you were lucky if you were ever heard, as opposed to going against to someone like that.
Sure,
so
right.
You understand that,
but the climate now is more open to that, and I don't know what they're and you know what? Hey, if he did that, then the guy needs to pay for it.
Well, they can't file charges. Too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
So,
it
doesn't matter. But when you talk about things like that, well, reputation-wise with Larry Craig, soliciting sex in a bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, and, to think that he didn't, he pled guilty, and he wasn't going to tell anyone, never came back, told his wife, never told anyone. If my husband... my beloved Tom was ever accused of that, like say you had, a wide stance, come on, you're tapping your foot, whatever. If he was ever accused from that, you would have heard him screaming from Minneapolis.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Agreed.
Any man who was like falsely accused, are you kidding me? We would have heard it from Minneapolis, but he didn't. And the only reason they tried to fight it was Arlen Specter. Oh no, Larry, you should fight this. Otherwise, it was just under the rug. He wasn't going to do anything. He told his attorney he pled guilty, and it was a reporter who found out from the call sheet of crimes in Minneapolis, and that was it. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but you would have this as your financial guy who then tried to pass off his campaign funds, thinking taxpayers should pay for that was in the course of his business. I don't think so.
I know it doesn't make sense to me either.
Thank goodness.
Hey, I can only justify so much, and this is beyond what I can justify. And let me tell you this: I side with the Republicans most of the time because I am a conservative, but I vote for the person, and I always have, and probably always will. So there are some things that you have to back off at times, no matter how big of a supporter you are at times, and say, look, you have really stepped over the line here. Just because you are a party sympathizer or something like that doesn't mean that you justify and okay everything that happens. And I just don't get this. I mean, how again, all summer long, the Republicans in Idaho have had a tough time, and it started at the state convention, and of course everybody knew, oh, that's the end of the GOP in Idaho, which I knew was not the case. But, they went through some tough times, and then they finally get through that, and everything looks good, and at the election, everything was looking good. And now this, it's like, are you doing this on purpose? I guess is what I'm asking. Are you trying to bring negative attention to the Idaho Republican Party when it's already had plenty of that? What in the name of the good Lord in heaven are you thinking when you do some of this stuff?
I think they think they're stupid. Voters are stupid. They have done whatever. They put up candidates, and we're stupid. And guess what? We reelected these people. We are stupid. And then they think, well, we'll just appoint Larry Craig, and no one will say a word.
Hey, President Obama thinks we're stupid. So, I mean, that can go right along here. But here's the deal. A month from now, 6 weeks from now, and I'm sure they had this discussion. They probably said, okay, look, Larry, probably when we first do this, there's going to be a lot of repercussions about this. There's going to be a lot of discussion. There'll be, the talking heads will be talking about it on talk radio, and there will be letters to the editor. But don't worry, in a few weeks, this will all go away, and then nobody will ever give it a second thought. And you know what? They're probably absolutely right.
Well, what are you going to do? What are people going to do? Are you going to write the Idaho Republican Party? Maybe you should. Or write Steve Yates and go, are you out of your mind? Why would you have this man in this position? Why? Has anyone contacted Steve Yates?
I'm sure they have. I'm sure that his phone
I
is
would like to know
ringing,
one person, please.
Ringing off
please
the desk.
Call and tell me you called them, please.
So, I don't know. That's just...
I just is
still
like...
still taking calls, too, by the way, if you want to weigh in on this. 736-0300.
Blows your mind. Doesn't it? Just blows your mind.
Well, just about the time you think things have settled down, then there's something else that comes up like this.
People are
we don't need this.
People are still wounded by the election. I mean, I still go out and people are still, I'm a Republican. I don't know how these people got elected, especially Sherry Ibarra. That's really plucking people's nerves. It's just, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I don't know, but maybe over
Total
the next few
resignation.
weeks we'll be able to get some opinions on this with some of the those that Steve Millington won't be here next Tuesday nor the Tuesday after.
How convenient, Steve. Fine, answer the question, pal.
Well, when he comes back, I'm sure that'll be one of the... I see, will I still be here?
Oh, stop.
Might have to leave it up to you to ask him that.
Oh, stop. You'll still be here.
Hey, I'm just saying.
So. All right, well, I guess we beat this horse to death.
I don't know what else to say. I was surprised. I was shocked. I was thinking, oh, my God, you're... Really?
I thought it was far...
We're going to have to talk about this.
Yeah.
When I saw it yesterday, I thought...
And here's a news flash. How do you ever use the term wide stance again without thinking of Larry Craig? No, it's now the punchline of every joke. Your wide stance. You don't even have to say anything more than that. You know what you're talking about. It has changed. It's changed that term forever.
It has changed the English language for we Idahoans forever. I know.
I'm sorry. He was cursed with a wide stance. He just had a wide stance, Kelly. How wide is your stance? I don't know.
Well, it's not that wide.
And it's never going to be that wide.
So, I don't know. It's too bad that it has come to this. Like I said, Larry Craig was a fairly good senator for the state of Idaho during the years that he
You know what? I feel bad for Larry.
You know what? You mess up on this scale, and, well, apparently it doesn't matter. Top story, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, on the widening stance thing, it's funny because a friend of mine a few years back, as the Larry Craig thing was breaking at Scandal, he was getting a petition together not to widen Falls Avenue up there by CSI because he lived there. And he didn't like it because the Times News, the headline of the story that they did on his petition drive was, "Resident has a widening stance."
You are serious, right?
Yeah, he did that. They did that, the Times News.
I
don't know.
I'm sorry.
Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. Okay, we're going to talk about the Valley House with Sharon Brashears up next after the news from the Fox Radio Radio. Okay, anyway.
Whatever.
It's coming up.
You know it's happening.
That's right. It's coming up. We are back. 736-0300, always the number to call. Welcome back, Jill.
Thanks, Cal. Same to you.
We're experiencing a tropical heat wave here today. It's 31 degrees.
Wow.
So we're probably going to get up around 40 for the high today, or maybe a little over.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going to be back to mowing lawns and, sitting in the shade, drinking cold ones here in a day or two. Don't you think?
I think so.
Now the weather.
Flip-flops.
Yeah, flip-flops,
Shorts.
that's right.
There
And the
you
weather
go.
is supposed to be pretty good for the party tomorrow night. Now, Saturday, we might have some snow moving in, but
Thank goodness it's not Saturday.
I put in a special order to the weatherman saying, hey, we need some good weather Friday night so people will come to my retirement party.
Yes.
At the Turf Club between 5 and 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow night, please come, please come. Kelly's worried no one will come.
That's right, I am.
And didn't I announce it, Sharon? I announced it yesterday. I did.
Did she really get a standing ovation?
They all clapped.
Yeah. Right.
I told them they all said, Kelly who?
Yeah.
What?
Well, our guest is Sharon Brashears, and Sharon is you're the director of Valley House. All right, first of all, before we get into it, tell us what Valley House is and what it does.
Well, Valley House is our local homeless shelter here in the Twin Falls, Magic Valley area, but also in the 8-county area. The only homeless shelter that brings in families with children. That's why it's so important, for us to be here. We are community funded and community ran, 19 years old in the Magic Valley, and we help homeless families. We help families that have found themselves in need and not able to pay their rent. They find themselves out in the street or in a car, and that's not a place to have your children. And so we are there for families, also single women, and we help many, many, many single men.
How much room do you have
Yeah.
there? Because I know the need must be great.
Well, right now we have 11 families at the Valley House and out in our family units, and then we also have families in our main house. I have a couple of ladies with children in our main house. The main house also houses single women, and so we house up to 70 per night. Sometimes
70? You have that much?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
And sometimes we have to, if it's a single woman and one child out in a unit, we have to say, hey, this is a homeless shelter. We've got to move another single woman and a child in. And I mean, we group them up because there is such a need right now.
Have you seen the need increase? How long have you been doing this, Sharon?
Well, I've been at the Valley House for 11 years. And yes, since I came 11 years ago, I believe that year we helped 123 people. 11 years ago. Now, this year alone, we're going to help way over 4,000 people.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's
No
huge.
kidding.
It's a
No
huge,
kidding.
huge need going
Yes,
on
it
right
is.
now.
And the year's not over yet.
And the year's not over yet.
Because I think I saw a news story on the kids, how many kids are homeless that go to school. Like over 200 kids are homeless
Yes.
in this area. So you wonder, where are these people sleeping at night?
Surely you can't house all of them.
We can't house 400, no. But we help to find resources for the families. If we can't bring them in, we don't want them out in the street and cold. And so we will, we're having to put them up in motels. We just sent a family down to their family down in Texas because there was, no place for them to go. And actually, they needed to get back to Texas. But we helped them get back to Texas, but also put them up in a motel until we could get them situated. So, we try to do everything that we can to find a resource for them. We've had to send single men, on buses to Boise or to Pocatello. And so, we just work with them and see what the need is and, try to meet whatever we can.
And where do you get the funds to do that, Sharon?
Oh, wow. We are community funded.
Right.
We rely upon the good hearts of the community to step up and to help us out, organizations and churches and individuals. We also have transitional housing that the county commissioners came to us about 3 or 4 years ago and said, they had these apartments and would we like to lease them? And so we leased them for $1 a year, and that we are able to transition our families into those apartments. The income from that is for our emergency fund, for motels, for gas, for bus tickets, for, it's just amazing what that has done.
So they pay to live there?
In the transitional housing,
Okay.
we work with a management company, and they help to manage that, to collect rents and that, and so that actually has helped us. So we partnered with the Twin Falls Police Department and the Sheriff's Department that if they find a family in crises in the evening or on the weekends, they are able to put them up into some motels that we have partnered with, and then Valley House pays for that. And so, yes, we are putting families up in motels and, whatever we can to help.
Do you feel like you're almost like the last resort? I mean, really, where would people go if they didn't have you?
Homeless families in the 8-county area.
8-county area.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, we are the only homeless shelter for families with children. And so, yeah, I don't know what they would do without us.
And you really only have 70 spots, really, for 8 counties.
Yeah,
that's huge. What do you think the need really is?
Oh, it has to be huge. It really does, because even, just since the weather has become cold, people are coming to our door. They're not able to pay their power. They're not able to, and their power has been shut off, or their water's been shut off. And, it's just people are really hurting right now. And
but they're still in their homes.
Yes,
some of them are just without power or water.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that amazing?
It's a very sad situation.
We have a caller. Top story. You're on the air with Sharon Brashears.
Hey, good morning, Kelly. Good morning, lovely Jill. Listen, I would like to commend Valley House for what they're doing. I really appreciate that. And I have a question for you. Do you think that the reason why there's seems to be a lot more homeless people is because there is no resource to help them out, or they just overextended their time for the usage of whatever resources the federal government or state government, a little bit that they offered? Is that what's happening, or what?
Did you get that?
I got that. I would say, food stamps have been cut. They don't get the amount that they used to get. Single people, especially, they range from $17 to maybe $100 for food stamps. People are hungry and they can't live on that. And if they're disabled or they're not able to go out and find a good job, what do? And so we're helping with food boxes and whatever we can.
Do you differentiate between those who are truly in need and those who are just looking for an easy way out?
It's really sometimes hard to tell because how do you judge? How do you weigh it? And
how do you turn someone away?
Yeah, it's very tough.
Really, how
Especially
would you do
kids.
that?
In a cold situation when it's they could freeze out on the street. Yes, it's very very difficult to say no.
Yeah, I bet.
So how do you get money?
We have 3 fundraisers a year. One is a live television auction in the fall with KMVT. One is our live, or not live, but dinner auction in the spring. And then we do a solicitation letter at Christmas. Other than that, it's the kindness of people sending in monthly checks to support us. And we couldn't do it without the community. We really could not.
Rotary has supported you many times.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
thank you.
That's what we do, and that's, why we do fundraisers to help support your organizations along with so many others, because it's so difficult to raise money all the time. It's not, some people might make one-time donation, and that's great. However, it's every day.
Yes.
Every day, 365.
Yeah.
Will you take, do you want people to drop food off at Valley House? What will you accept right now? Clothing? What?
Anything except for knickknacks. You have to dust knickknacks and you have to have a place to put them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we bring in, we take in furniture, we take in appliances, small appliances, anything that would furnish a house, because the people are there only for a short time, and when they're able to get into a house, they have nothing to put into that house.
Right.
And so we have storage units that we help bring furniture in and things that they're going to need in their house, and we help them furnish their houses. And so we can take anything in. Right now the big need is food. The people out in the community, that so many are just hungry, period. And so we are handing out food boxes. We have Thanksgiving boxes to hand out. We're getting them ready right now, and if people need help, come 9 to. Our hours are longer than this, but 9 to 4, Monday through Thursday is the best time to come in if you need a food box.
Okay. So should they call you? Is there a number you can give out so people can call to say, do you need volunteers too, Sharon?
Oh yeah, we actually have had many volunteers come in the last couple of months, and so appreciative of that. And yes, we do need the volunteers. So if there are people out there that can help us come in and make food boxes up, or help us to sort clothing, because we also have clothing rooms. And
what's the number that people could call?
734-7736.
Okay.
So I suppose any kind of canned goods, if people go to the store, they can buy a few extra cans of this and that and drop it off.
Absolutely. And paper products, personal hygiene products, warm clothing, coats and blankets. We can use all of that type of thing.
Okay.
Does the need go up? This is probably a stupid question, but does the need go up when the weather turns cold?
Well, obviously it does, because
Yeah.
because more people have come to our door just in the last couple of weeks than ever. So yes.
And what about the people actually living in the canyon? Because let's be real, that's really for a long time is our homeless shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Are those people coming up? Is anyone checking on those people? Do you know?
I'm not.
Like right in Rock, you know what I mean?
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Like, are they
I
coming
know
up?
that they are there, and when they come in, we ask, and they have to fill out a form of what's going on with them. Where are they in a motel, or are they in a home, or where are they staying? And we're not seeing a lot of that. No, of the people. This is people that have not been able to, or are not able to make it to the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with food stamps or their funds, or they have to pay rent, and so they choose the rent, and then they don't have enough.
Which is a hard choice, because
Yes.
shelter over food. In this situation, shelter, if you can help get food, great. But
Yes.
Sharon, you're one of our unsung heroes of the community.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
devote so much time to this, and kudos to you, and bless your heart. And everyone out there should help you and Valley House and help these people.
What's the number
Thank
again
you
there
so
that
much.
folks can call?
Our telephone number is 734-7736.
Do you have a website by any chance? Or?
We are on Facebook. We did have a website, and it was bringing in a lot of people from other states, and so we had to take that down.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Facebook, Valley House, right?
Yes.
And okay, and you're right on Addison. Do you want to give your location?
507 Addison Avenue West. We have our office hours are during the day, and just come on in, and we'll give you a tour and show you what's going on.
All right, Sharon Brashears, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for what you do. We
Keep up
appreciate
the
it.
good work.
And this is Top Story on News Radio 1310 KLIX. 7360300 is the number to call, as always, here on Top Story. That number never changes, never goes away.
You might go, we might come and go, but
That's
the number
right.
stays
the number
the same.
will always be the same.
7360300.
Yesterday's $100 instant winning name is John Delmore.
John Delmore, congratulations.
And your $100 word of the day is globe.
Globe.
Yeah, like the globe of the earth.
Globe. Globe.
Yeah. And you can go to our website, newsradio1310.com, click on word of the day, type in globe.
Globe.
And listen on Friday, tomorrow. If you hear your name tomorrow and you played the word today, you win $100.
Well,
just
that's
like
how
that.
easy that is.
I'll say, it doesn't get any easier than that.
No. So we had some news. Did you hear that Mike Nichols, the award-winning director and husband of Diane Sawyer, passed away last night?
I did hear about
Of
that.
cardiac arrest.
I did not know who he was.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, my
But I do
gosh.
now.
He was the director of The Graduate, Working Girl, so many things.
The song "The Graduate" was a huge. I can remember that. I was a teenager when The Graduate was the big hit, and I've never seen the movie The Graduate.
I don't think I have. I just seen bits and pieces. I mean, but he, he did Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. He did.
I've
think
never seen that one
I think
either.
the man won an Emmy, a Grammy, a Tony, an Oscar.
He did.
I think he won everything.
They call it the EGOT when you win all four of those.
He got the EGOT, that's for sure. But he was married to Diane Sawyer.
Yeah.
And so. And I guess he was working on something. He was 83, still working, still active. Kelly, he didn't retire.
I know.
No.
I know.
He was still having a purpose in life.
I am a low-life piece of scum for retiring. Because he didn't.
No, 83, still working, working on a project.
You know, that I have to say, just to digress a little bit here, when people are still working in their 80s, I wonder about that. I wonder, why would you do that?
Why? He probably doesn't feel like it's work.
Probably doesn't.
I mean,
that's what they say. If you're doing something that you love, you never will work a day in your life.
I know it.
So.
I mean, he did The Birdcage. He did Closer. He did Angels in America. I think he did Silkwood. He did The Odd Couple. He did Spam-A-Lot. I mean, the guy did so many things. Why would you quit? It must be so much fun.
It must be. Well,
especially being a director.
Not to mention lucrative.
Well, I'm sure they don't really need the money. I mean,
but
his wife has a little job.
Yeah, that's right. But but you got to figure, when you are used to making the huge bucks, really, it's kind of like a drug in that you have to almost continue doing that in order to maintain the lifestyle that you have come to enjoy.
Or your ego.
Really, I mean, if you're making millions of dollars a year, and then all of a sudden, and I'm thinking, if I were making millions of dollars a year, I would be taking most of that and setting it aside so that I would have something to live on. But most people don't do that. I mean, look at the rock and roll stars and the sports figures and stuff that make literally. Somebody signed a contract the other day for a pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
For over 9 years, it was like $326 million.
That's right. I think they broke it down to $68,000 a day.
And you watch, when he's done, he won't have anything left. I will almost bet you.
I don't believe that. I mean, some of them are good,
some
of them don't. I know a lot of them don't, but some of them are very smart with it, and some, have unlimited endorsements until they beat their wife or beat their kid or do something.
So when they retire after making these, millions of dollars a day over their lives, and then they apply for that Social Security, which is going to pay them, what, like $1,200, $1,400, $1,500 a month. Well, they get it. It's based on the last few years of your employment. I don't know how it works if you're making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, in the NFL, they have pensions as well. So, they also play. Their career is not that long.
That's true.
I mean, really, some
true.
can be in there a year, 2 years. You could get hurt, devastated, and you're done, and your earning potential is gone.
Well, John Elway worked how many years as a football player, and now his knees are messed up.
Oh, his brain. He has no short-term memory now.
Really?
Yeah, no, he's one in the lawsuit.
Well, I don't have that,
dementia.
and I never played football.
No, he's only 50s. He's a young guy still.
What was your name again?
Yeah, exactly. But their earning capacity. They aren't playing football for 45 years.
Oh, I understand that. I know, but music or film directors and stuff like this guy, I mean, they can do that right up until they die.
They get residuals too. Every movie, every time they play,
I
you get residuals over and over and over again.
And I don't even know if they fiddle with Social Security. They might not even worry about it. It would probably
there should be some means testing for that, but we don't pass that. But you know what? He probably enjoyed what he did every day.
Yeah.
83. I felt badly for her. I guess they had a really great love story. He met her when he was 54, and they've been together like 29 years. I love Diane Sawyer. I think she's awesome. Felt badly for her.
Well, we're going to talk about the Emperor coming up next here on Top Story on News Radio 1310 KLIX. 736-0300 is the number to call. Still 31.
Oh, good.
It's kind of hanging in right there for now.
Which, by the way, we're going to do our tour today. Anyone interested in the City Hall? We're going to do our tour of the Banner Building, Old Clinic, and then a lot. The Lake
really?
Lot. Yeah.
What time is that?
11:30, City Council.
So anybody's welcome for that?
Yeah.
All right, show up.
We've been open for everything. So
see what the city's doing.
Yeah, our little committee.
Sounds good. Well, I know somebody else.
This will be warm enough.
Yeah, exactly. I know somebody else who's open.
Who?
Canyon Pawn.
Oh.
Yeah, Twin Falls' newest pawn shop. And we talk about him each day, and sometimes we give him kind of a hard time, Dave Hansen and the crew. He had a birthday this week. I don't know how old he is.
I don't know. Well, doesn't matter. He survived his birthday.
Well, it does matter, actually.
Why?
Because
Why?
He's younger than I am, so it matters what birthday he's having.
Everyone's younger than you are. No.
But at any rate, well, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Go on into Canyon Pawn where they got guns, they've got camping supplies, they've got gold, they got jewelry, they got rings, they got watches, they've got fishing supplies, they got tools, they got woodworking stuff. I mean, it's a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in there, you're liable to see just about anything. And if you go in there today and you don't see that, go in tomorrow. You'll probably see it then.
Yeah.
They're at the corner of 3rd Avenue South and Shoshone Street, right across from Will's Toyota, right on the corner where Vickers Western Store used to be. Got a big sign out front. It's really difficult to miss. If you drive by there and you miss it, then you have big problems, my friend.
Sorry.
So stop by Canyon
You got
Pond.
issues,
Tell them hi.
people.
Yeah, you got issues.
You got issues.
So Canyon Pond, that's the place you want to be. Be a great time to go to for Christmas shopping and Hanukkah shopping. And
Yeah, okay, it is the eve of December 16th. I checked.
Okay, and
So the
oh, really?
Yeah, so this is a deal with Jewish holidays. They start sundown before is the first night. It goes sundown to sundown because the beginning of the world was dark,
I see.
that's why. So
I could never be Jewish. It's too confusing for me.
no,
to
whenever
keep
you
track
see
of the
it,
days.
whenever you see it on the calendar, if it's the 17th, it starts the night of the 16th. Starts 16th the night before. It's just the day before. It's not that hard.
Okay, so it would be okay. Today's the 17th. Oh, we're late.
No, that might be the second day of Hanukkah.
I know.
We have 8 days.
But if you wanted to catch the first day, then you'd be late.
Well, yeah,
See,
you just have to look
it's
on the
too confusing.
calendar. Oh,
It's just
yeah,
too
it's hard to
confusing
look on
for
a
me.
calendar, Kelly.
It's too confusing.
Yeah,
I
like you're going to
couldn't-
be Jewish anyway.
I
Give me a break.
I
Why don't we just wipe that out
What if I wanted
altogether?
to be part of the Jew crew?
Well, then I would call you and say we're having our Hanukkah party on this night. Show up. How hard is that?
I wouldn't be. I'd be a day late.
No,
There's no
we would
way I
invite
could show
you.
up on time.
It doesn't just meet because it's a holiday. We schedule it. What does
Okay.
the matter with you?
Okay,
What
I'm
is
just-
wrong with you? You can't
I'm
look at a
just saying.
calendar?
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to explain to people when they see a holiday, it starts the night before. That's how it works. What is wrong with that? It goes sundown. It's just like with the Sabbath. It starts sundown Friday night and ends sundown Saturday.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You should.
All right. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, President Barack Obama plans to announce to the world his plan on the immigration system. The steps he will lay out tonight in a primetime address will fuel a debate over his use of executive authority to enact change without the agreement of an opposition Congress. Conservatives are howling that Obama's effort to shield millions of illegal immigrants from deportation oversteps his own authority and infringes the Constitution. His backers say that he is simply exercising his power as the king. His power to select which areas of law to prioritize and addressing a major national issue that seems to elude Congress. So
It hasn't eluded Congress because Congress has had a bill for like 510 days now that the House hasn't voted on, even though they know they have the votes for it. If Congress wants to deal with this issue, why aren't they dealing with it? They've waited long enough. My gosh, deal with it. This is basically keeping parents here whose kids are Americans. Why would you want to separate families? Why isn't Congress dealing with this? Really? Why would you want to?
But again,
Family values. What happened to the party of family values?
that is aside from the real issue here.
That is the same thing that Ronald Reagan did. They didn't want to separate families from the kids.
Okay. Here's how we explain that. The Obama White House is pointing to legal precedents established by earlier presidents who have used executive power to reshape the immigration system, notably John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, and Bush's father, George H.W. Bush. The elder Bush, for example, Elder Bush. Isn't that a Bush?
Yeah, I'm
The
sure.
elder
I'm sure that
Bush,
one will run for president
For
too.
example, used executive power to permit 1.5 million undocumented spouses and children of people shielded from deportation by a previous law to also stay in the United States. White House officials point out that number accounted for about 40% of illegal immigrants in the country at the time. Obama could cover a similar proportion of the current total of 11.4 million illegal immigrants with the moves he is expected to announce. Lawyers who disagree with that view say Bush was using his power to fix problems with a recently passed immigration law, not acting alone after Congress refused to act. For his part, Reagan used executive power to help 100,000 families caught in a loophole included in a comprehensive immigration reform bill passed by Congress in 1986.
And his was for parents and spouses as well. So why would you want to separate the parents and spouses from their kids?
We'll be right back. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. We're just looking at the snow that's falling.
Poor Buffalo.
As we want to shuffle off to Buffalo.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I mean,
anyway.
they had, 5 feet? They're expecting another 3 feet?
Can you imagine? I can't even imagine those numbers. We get 3 inches, and we think the world is ending.
Well, this is what's weird, and I know you have to do an ad, but it's weird that they're paying people, fans. 3 of the 7 deaths were from shoveling. Heart attacks.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they paid some fans for $10 an hour to help scoop out the tons of snow they have in the stadium because they have a game this weekend, and they're giving them game tickets. But you think, okay, you have a game. Who can get there?
Right.
You can't shovel your car out. There are no roads. Who's coming to the game?
Well, they'll stay at home and watch it on TV.
Except the people that are shoveling.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we're talking about President Obama,
stop.
who will be
do the same
initiating
thing.
his immigration plan, and we have a caller. I hope you're still there. Top Story, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jill.
He's there.
I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm on a bad part of the road.
Well, be careful.
Well, hurry up then.
Okay, so here's the deal. This is my opinion. This was already told twice already that it would never have to happen again. And it's happening again. Why? Because we keep getting out the mop before we turn off the water. We have to fix the borders and the problems with people staying too long before we do any of this. Because as soon as you do this, people are going to come flooding.
Yeah.
And as far as being fair or anything else, Jill, the people lose their parents all the time for going to jail for breaking the law? Yes, all the time. You break the law, you shouldn't be rewarded for breaking the law. My personal opinion is if you're not a citizen and you have a child in this country, it's not a citizen. That's my opinion.
Well, according to our Constitution, I mean, you are a citizen. If you're born in the U.S., you're a citizen. How else would you do it? We're all born in the U.S.
Constitutional experts say that was misread, too, that it shouldn't be that way. They did that for the slavery issue that we had, but it was not meant for everybody.
It only misread because of Obama. That's the only time you've ever heard this. It's misread because of Obama.
Hey, he misreads it all the time. Why can't anybody else, for crying out loud?
It's just amazing. Why don't the Republicans come up with a plan or work with the bill that they already have to deal with?
Because they were told it would be vetoed when they want to secure the border. They want to secure the border. No, that isn't going to happen. That's the problem.
That's part of the plan. That's part of the bill they have in the House that Boehner isn't voting on. 67 senators voted on that bill. He's kept it in his drawer because he knows they're going to vote on it and they'd pass it. Work with it then. Do something. Don't just put your head in the sand. There's people here that have been here. Deal with it.
In spite of all that, can Obama really do what he's going to do?
Like every other president has done? Absolutely.
Can he do that? 7360300. Top Story, you're on the air.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, lovely, beautiful Jill. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I love your spunkiness.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, all of you conservatives that want to block people from becoming citizens or whatever, read the Constitution, read the 14th Amendment, but read it properly. And also, what the president is going to do is legal. Completely legal. So you can raise your voice and say, oh, this has got to be done. No, we're not kissing nobody's behind. What he's doing is legal. Got that? So I hope he goes far, and I hope he helps a lot of people. Thank you.
It's just interesting
Well-
that when he does it, it's a problem, but everyone else does it, it's okay. It
Okay.
doesn't matter what he does.
The 14th Amendment says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. I don't think there's no question that a lot of these kids are citizens under
They are
the
citizens.
Constitution, but the parents are not.
Yeah.
That's the issue. They caused that situation, and now they want us to ignore the law and make it good.
They're going to give these people work visas. They're not going to get citizenship. They're going back to the end of the line.
They're
My
giving
gosh,
them amnesty. They should be deporting
that
them,
is
but
not
they're
amnesty. That is not amnesty. Work visas, and they're also checking for
allowing
criminal
them
background
to
checks.
stay here.
You know what? And your kid isn't. Why would you
try
do that?
going to Mexico and try making this thing reversed and going to Mexico. You'd be in jail by the time you hit the border.
I understand that, but if you do not deal with this, like the Republicans have not, your head is in the sand. You still have 11 million people here. These are people that are living in the shadows. These are people that are having crimes against them happening, women being raped, whatever.
So why
they
would they
aren't
wanna
going
come
for
here?
the police.
Why would they want to come here?
Oh, Kelly, why
Things
do
are
you
just
say
so bad.
ridiculous things?
You just said it.
I'm saying they
all
have
these bad things are happening.
no legal.
Why would they even want to come here?
Can you let me finish? They have no legal recourse. Let them come out of the shadows so they don't have to be raped and not be able to report it to the police.
Why would you want to come here just to be raped and used like that?
Why do you say things that are so stupid?
It makes sense.
Oh, does it make sense? Give me a break.
So the president's going to speak tonight.
Kudos to President
I think
Obama.
it's 6 o'clock local time.
Good for him.
8 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see what he has to say.
Want to see the Republican plan?
We'll watch the good
one.
emperor do what he wants to do because he's going to do it anyway.
They did it, and that's okay.
And it's time now for the Huckabee Report, brought to you by Waddell and Reed. You can hear the Huckabee Report each weekday at this time, brought to you exclusively by Waddell and Reed. Laura Nelson, Josh Funk, and Steve Stenger, financial advisors. Warming up a little bit, so some of that manure out on the dairies and feedlots might be turning to liquid from the frozen state.
Good thing because they take care of both.
That's right. Not to worry, because the low and honey loader can handle it. Liquid, frozen,
Doesn't
dry,
matter.
doesn't make any difference. The
Broken.
low and honey
Who
loader
cares?
from Stanley and Company is the miracle from heaven. And Pat Hartzell with Stanley and Company can fix it up so you can see one of these in operation. He would love to help you out. And all you'd have to do is go there and watch it. You can ask the owner questions. You can look at it up close, give you a wrench, take it apart, see how easy it is to work on, all that kind of stuff. And so if you have a big feedlot or dairy operation, this might be something you want to consider, the low and honey loader. I know you've heard about it because we talk about it all the time.
And we know you listen.
That's right. Pat Hartzell is the guy, 280-1167 with Stanley and Company. He can fix you up, as we say. Well, besides the retirement party coming up tomorrow night, 5 to 8 o'clock at the Turf Club.
Is there any other news?
Well,
There's possibly something else?
We do have a new showcase right now. It's Santa's Sleigh Showcase.
Santa.
Where we want to make your holiday dreams come true by offering you the chance to win your choice of items that just might be on Santa's sleigh. There's a Hoyt Charger bow with a Hoyt Western accessories package from Advantage Archery. There's a car DVD entertainment system from the Power Plant. There's a Microsoft Surface 2-in-1 tablet computer, plus 1 full year of PMT's TechForce Unlimited computer repair from PMT. There's a 2-night retreat to Nob Hill Inn from Thousand Springs Resort. There's a Holiday Dream Clean Machine package from Gem State Paper and Supply. And there's a Holiday Decoration package from Design 125. Now, you win this thing. You get to pick which one of those you want. This ends December 16th, so go to our website, newsradio1310.com, click on Santa's Showcase. It'll take a few of your points to enter this, but do it. Do it. And use as many points as you want to enter this multiple times.
That's right.
So there you go.
Along with winning lunch with you and me.
That's right. You can do that where it says one lunch with Kelly and Jill.
Yeah.
So you just as well,
Same
while
time.
you're there, take your points and spend them There's no sense just letting them build up. They're not doing you any good.
No.
Just use them.
Use them.
That's
You
why
could win so many things.
That's right. The points are there to spend, not to hang on
Not to accumulate.
That's right. You can't take them with you.
No.
You can't take your money or your Loyal Listener Club points with you.
No, you can just use them.
That's right. Tomorrow.
I can't believe tomorrow's Friday already.
I know.
And your party.
My party is tomorrow.
Are you going to have a stylist? What are you going to wear? How's your hair?
I've already been to my stylist. I got a haircut. I got one of my once every 3-month haircuts earlier this week.
That's it?
I'm ready to go.
That's it?
I clean up nice, I'll tell you.
A new shirt?
So we'll see you tomorrow here on Top Story. Goodbye, Jill.
Bye, Cal.